or reverse it into a positive way.
Exactly.
Like when you were saying you were going to drive into a telephone pole, that must have been scary. Like just even driving. Now, I don't know. I would never do it. With my luck, I would just bang my head really hard and crash my car at 16 or something like that. Or, might be like, I don't know.
Well, the sad thing is that when I looked at the telephone pole, I was seeing relief.
Right. Yeah. And that's scary. That's really scary.
Because I was feeling so much pain and I didn't know how to get out of it. And so I was able to get into some therapy, but it wasn't necessarily a good fit with the therapist.
The right therapist, because that's a shame that there wasn't more resources available to you when you needed them. Yeah. And that's why we have these shows. I mean, not only that, these are not in lieu of therapy at all, but it does help to hear people's perspective and journey and stories of inspiration and what works for them, so that people don't feel alone or don't feel like they're stuck, like you were saying in the beginning. Yeah. So Gretchen, hold on one second. It's time for our break. And I am fascinated on how you've gotten so far. I'm very grateful that you got through that and that I'm talking to you now. So that's always a positive thing. But it's time for a break, and we're going to be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned, but also call in if you want, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340. And please share the show and join us if you have any comments or questions. And on Facebook Live as well, you can post comments or questions down there as well. 866-826-1340. We'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Do you ask yourself any of these questions? Will I ever be able to get out of debt? Will I ever be able to retire? How am I going to pay for my children's education? How do I begin saving for my family's future? And if something were to happen to me, will my family be taken care of? Have you struggled in finding the answers? Forever Forward Financial can help answer these and many more questions about your financial future by teaching you how money works, by providing you the financial education you seek, by assisting you in making the right retirement or educational decisions that are best for you and your family, and by helping you take the necessary steps in establishing and meeting your financial goals. Please call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. The number, 727-422-7761.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hi, and welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. This is Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Werner. I am a licensed mental health counselor, and I am your host. And today we're talking about changing your mindset, changing how thoughts can be intrusive, but can be learned to be positive, and that through training can be controlled, can be optional. And And my guest today has not only lived through it, but studied and focuses on changing the mindset. She calls herself the mindset coach. And I want to welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Gretchen Hernandez. Thanks so much, Gretchen. And I love what you're saying. And it's a very positive thing that can really, really change a lot of people's way of thinking. Sometimes we get stuck in the negative and we don't realize it. I want to welcome callers to call in 866-826-1340. We're live on air 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, 866-826-1340. So Gretchen, okay, so let's see. We do have a Facebook Live. Great information. Also, carbs make you happy. Yeah, see? So that book on if I was this smart, why can't I lose weight? I don't know. Smart people, they know how to comfort themselves without ruining their lives. I don't know. You say that. Well, I think the media makes everybody think that thin people are happier. I don't know. I think that's a programmed thing as well.
I think that there's several things out in the media that program us to think if we have this, we're going to be happy. And this is actually a really good segue into what my call to action is was that changed the whole trajectory of what my career was going to be. Because although mental health was always really important to me, I never really thought that I was going to have a career in mental health. So one of the things that started happening over the last 5 years was an increase in celebrity deaths, in celebrity suicides. And that's one of those things that we've always been told, once you're rich and famous, your life is made and you're going to be super happy. Well,
it gets more hectic.
Here they are, and it didn't work out for them. So it was like, what was it? And I've been studying people ever since I was in middle school. I had some friends that went down path of self-destruction. I had been bullied. I started being an advocate against other people that were getting bullied, and had this really great defining moment in 8th grade where I actually stood up to a girl bully because she was bullying all of the other girls in the locker room. And I was like, no, you're not going to treat people like this. Yeah. So that's exactly what she did. She's like, meet me after school at 3 p.m.
Dash me outside.
And I'm like,
and you're like, okay.
I was like, okay, I have zero fighting skills, but okay, I'm going to get out there. And
I was imagining you with your, like, this is it.
Yeah. Because it's like, I had been bullied. I didn't necessarily have people that stood up for me, but I was like, I'm going to be the person that I always wished that I had. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get it. And so, like I said, zero fighting abilities, but what I did have was empathy and a lot of curiosity. And so I showed up, and that day we didn't actually fight. We sat down and we talked. And I was like, so what's going on with you that you want to do all this? Like, what makes you tick? And she started sharing with me that she didn't have any friends. She had just moved to that area. So she's feeling really awful. And I was like, okay, so she's identified a problem. She doesn't have any friends. I'm like, that's something that I could help her with. I could try to be her friend. And so I did. And all of a sudden, her whole behavior started to change because she had her needs met too. And she was actually a pretty cool person. And she started being nice to everybody else. And it made me realize people are using their defense mechanisms to, try to protect themselves in some way, their emotional feelings. And that
at the mere age of 8th grade, 14 probably. Yeah. Hold on, Gretchen, we have a caller. We have caller Joe. Sure. We have a couple callers, but let's just ask. Hi, Joe. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hello, Tiffany. How are you?
Hi. Good to hear you, my friend.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe.
How have you been?
I've been doing good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today, Gretchen. And
yes.
You just stole my thunder a little bit. And what I mean by that is, I'll get to that one second.
Okay.
I have a philosophy.
How dare you?
Well, Tiffany would tell you I'm a man of very few words, so I'll make it quick.
Yeah, well, make it quick. We have another caller waiting. But even though when he said a man of few words, he's being kidding. He's sarcastic.
Okay.
My outlook about changing your mindset is don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, as it says in Scripture. And that takes work.
It does.
Daily work. It isn't one and done. It isn't like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then tomorrow I revert back to the way it was. Secondly, and you hit on this perfectly, I try to treat people the way I like to be treated, including the bullies, in my life. I treat them the way I would like to be treated. And those walls come down, and amazing things happen to that person. And
exactly.
So it totally does. Kill them with kindness, too, and they stop bullying.
Exactly right. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Joe, for calling in. Joe, and thanks for everything you do for the team and everything. And we'll be in touch. But he has a book, When the Dust Settled, and probably hear the ad coming up. But, he grew up, Joe grew up with a very rough life. So for him to have transformed from rough into, like, what he was just saying, trying to be nice and not be the bully, that's, that's a whole different show. But thank you, Joe. Okay.
Thank you, bye.
All right, see you. We have another caller. We have a caller, Andy. Hi, Andy. Thanks for calling in. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Thank you. Hey, my name is Anthony.
Anthony.
I just want
to... First-time caller, right?
First-time caller. That's me.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, I just want to express my gratitude for doing this show, and your focus on helping men with their mindset. I had read a book called, my moment of clarity came when I read a book called The Body Keeps Score. And I realized that stuff shows up in my body, But I have difficulty tracing back to the original thought, Like I whip out the feelings wheel and I can see what the feeling is, but the thought, like, runs away before I can grab it,
Yeah.
So, like, that process just happens so fast, So, like, what's some tools I can use to identify what that thought is? Because it's like whack-a-mole and it plays hide and seek with me. What's some tools I can use to identify what that thought is? Because it's like whack-a-mole and it plays hide and seek with me.
Yeah, I like that whack-a-mole. That's a great example. I use what I call a data dump. I know that sounds really funky, but it's like an old software term. But I just take out a piece of paper and I just let it flow and just start writing. And I don't even really pay attention to what's going down on the piece of paper. I just start and give myself as long as I need to. Somewhere in there is going to be the thought that's causing that painful feeling.
Okay.
And it's called free association writing. That's free association journaling. And she's so right. It's a therapeutic approach, and you just start writing. And before you know it, you'll end up writing what the real problem is without even realizing it. So when you go back and read it, you're like, I didn't even know that was bothering me. But it does come out when you just start, so like the data dump, but it's actually a textbook definition, therapeutic. And then free association, journaling, and writing really does help too, as well.
And I find it's very helpful to write down the exact name of the feeling. So I'm really proud that you're using that feeling wheel, because having that exact feeling and writing it down at the top of that piece of paper is going to help, because then as you're going through and you're looking at each of the different things that you wrote down, you can ask yourself, okay, when I think this, does it cause that feeling?
And Anthony, also, if you are not a writer, another time, if we video record ourselves talking to ourselves just on a phone, like not to share with anybody else, just video. It's called video blog. And you can just talk to yourself and be like, I don't even know, whatever. You're starting to talk and just vent to yourself only. It eventually comes out too. Just like random, just venting to yourself on video. And
I think I could
keep talking.
I think my inner critic would be a little less loud if I actually write it. So that resonates with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for calling in. Take care. We also have another call, David. Hi, David. Thanks for calling in. Welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hi, Tiffany. I really enjoy your show. David. And Gretchen, I actually was on your podcast. I was a guest on your podcast. So it's so good to see you on here. And the first thing I want to say is that you have a really great ability to get people to open up, particularly men. And that's a great skill, because there's a lot of stigma about men and mental health. And most men will not open up. There's a lot of shame, and I think you're getting this stuff out in the open, so I really appreciate that, your work with helping men and their mindset. I wanted to sort of add about the bullying aspect. You know, I was bullied a lot as a kid, and even as an adult, it still affects me. And